Hi, my name is JD, and today we're going to be checking out the news that's just broke a couple of hours ago that Marshall has been sold to Swedish speaker company Sound, ending over 60 years of family ownership. So I'm just on Music Radar, and I've just had a quick scan over this article. A few main points are basically they've been taken over by Sound. Marshall will stay on a 24% stake in the company, so I think they have the largest sharehold. But it says Sound will acquire Marshall Amplification plus its subsidiaries Natal Drums, Marshall Records, and Marshall Live Agency. Also, with double-digit profitability and combined revenues over $360 million, the Marshall Group is in strong position to compete both in the consumer and musician markets. So what does all this mean? It says the most recent high-profile launch from Marshall was its vintage reissued pedals, which I've not had a chance to try, but I think people were asking for them, and by all accounts, they're good. Bit like what Boss has been doing with the Wazacraft, just re-releasing like old pedals. But it does say, however, new amp designs, however, have been thin on the ground, and I think that is the main problem with it. It says, time will tell where the Marshall Group will take its amplifiers, but if the innovation that D. Millard speaks of is brought to bear on the amp design, there's plenty of room to manoeuvre. Marshall has yet to debut a floor-based amplifier. A floor-based amplifier? And its range of tube amps remains largely unchanged despite onward march of digital technologies and IR cloning. So, this is my take on not just this, I mean, it's been taken over, so end of. But I just think, what was Marshall supposed to do? This idea, Marshall is yet to debut a floor-based amplifier. I'm sorry, but I don't think Marshall should do that. I mean, you've got the Hughes and Kettner one, the Spirit, the Blue Guitar one. I think Two Notes do one. Black Star's just done one. And whilst these are probably all great, I just don't think they're going to sell. They're not solving a problem. All they're doing is making things more compact, but for me, it's not as good as the digital. Like, why would you have, now I'm not going to shit on all these, I'm just going to use it as an example, but that Black Star Department 10, let's just have a quick look at it. Black Star Department 10 dual drive. This one here. Oh, whatever. Granny. Right, so Black Star Department 10, amp 2, £579. Now, I've not tried one, and I don't really want to shit on Black Star for this because it's not their fault, and they are trying something new. But that's 579 quid, and what you've not got a big 100-watt head, so there's a bonus. You've got a small compact, and you've got a couple of sounds, and you've got the what have you got? EQ, and I'm sure it's got some effects in it, like reverb and delay. But they are, sorry about the sun, it's just shining bright in here, so I'll probably look like a white ghost in a minute. But me personally, why would anyone buy that when you can buy a Line 6 Helix for like 900 quid? I just don't think, I think with the Helix, you're already, doesn't sound awful this, but you're already compromising on tone of a 100-watt valve amp because it doesn't sound as good as it. But the benefits are it's smaller, which this is, but then you've got the Helix, which has multiple amps, albeit modelling. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to be better served getting a modeler, a floor modeler. And you can get the Bosch GT1000, I think that's about 800 quid. The Head Rush, all these I think they solve a problem. And alright, they might compromise on actual tone of the amp, but they make up for it in all the features that it has. MIDI, multiple effects, ins and outs, and all this stuff. And I just think Marshall should definitely not go that route because I just don't think that's a good thing. So what I wanted to do is have a look at some Marshall amps. So you've got the Marshall AFD, 2.5 grand, hand wired 1900, JSM 800, 1600, and JTM 4514. Do they not do the JVM anymore? Oh yeah, there it is. 1300. Now I think the JVM is 15 years old. No, it's going to be more than that. It's about 18 years old, 15 or 18 years old. But personally, I think that's the last amp that they made that was, I'm not going to say decent, but that was the last 100-watt amp that I think we'll ever probably see from them, because I just don't think it's the way forward. Now, personally, I'd love them to make 100-watt amps and all this jazz, but it's just not going to happen. The sales are not there. I went into PMT in Manchester, and they don't even sell 100-watt amps anymore. There's a few 50s. They've got the Origin. There's the Black Star one. They might the St. Nicholas, something like that. But that's 50 watt, and they're all small compact amps. So they're just, the demand for them isn't there. And with modelling now, and not just modelling, when modelling came out, there was still, like the Kemper Profiler, yeah, it was good, but I think people still like the amps. But now you've got plugins and the models have evolved. What is Marshall to do? And I honestly think that they've partnered up with this company to probably save them, because otherwise they'll just go out of business. And this Zounds can now, they can kind of dictate what they're going to put out. So they can make all these Bluetooth speakers, make some money on this, and it gives Marshall the opportunity to maybe scale down it, but without looking like they are scaling down. So Marshall can just make a couple of amps now if they want, and they're not going to lose any money because they're still making money on all these Bluetooth and stuff like this. And I don't think, by all accounts, this sounds done very, very well with all these licensing for the Marshall Bluetooth speakers and stuff. So let them do it. There's no point Marshall trying to do this. But anyway, so I think when Marshall brought out the 20 watts amps, that was a really good thing. But I think it was just about 5 or 10 years too late. If they'd have brought that out when the Kemper come out, that would have been a real alternative to the small head shell. It's loud enough, it's got the balls, but it was just too late. Modelling, Kemper had already been out for a couple of years, and people had already started moving away. Now, guitar itself, even guitar-based music, is turning into a niche market. I mean, at the moment, I think it's all rap and pop at the moment. Unlike the 80s and 90s where it was all guitar-based. Now, it might come back, but guitar music is getting niche, which means guitar is going to get a niche. Now, I know there was a slight rise in popularity, but that was because of COVID. People just had nothing else to do, so just spend the money. There was a lot more podcasts come up, people buying podcast stuff, guitar stuff. But I think we've rode that hill now. I think it's just going to go straight down now. And I honestly don't think Marshall could do anything about it. And all these companies, there's nothing they can do. There's only so many high gain amps or even clean amps you can make. I'm not saying that all the amp tones have been had, but you look at all these amps that are coming out now, they're no different. The only one is probably the Mark 7 from Messerberger, but even Messer's been bought by Gibson, probably so they can keep a hold of some of that. They can make these amps custom order, and they don't seem like they're getting smaller, should we say. But I don't know. I really don't know. I just think it's another nail in the coffin, and valve amps are going. So now I've got to decide whether I want to keep all these, keep investing in this technology, or I'll move forward with the digital. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, I've actually got my JSM 800 modded by Dan Gower plugged in. So Marshall's been taken over, but they're still great. So let's have a listen to some Marshall tones modded by Dan Gower. it sounds awesome. I love my Marshall 100 watts, and I won't be getting rid of them soon. Probably going to go up in value now, but yeah, I think everybody knows it. It's just going to become so niche. I don't think it will ever go away because people like them, and there's always going to be people who want them. Same with valves. The market for valves has gone down dramatically, but there will always be a need for them. There's always going to be people who want them. It just means the price is going to go up, and maybe we might see Marshall JVM, instead of it being $13.50, might be $18.50 or something like that, and made to order. It's probably the only way that they can survive. But anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.